Have you ever heard of the Wheel of Life? Some of you might, some of you not. I know this was not something that I knew of, so we're going to dive deep into it on today's episode. Being a Ziglar coach, the Wheel of Life is heavily incorporated into everything that Ziglar does. And the Wheel of Life is essentially all these different categories of our life broken out into a circle. And here they are: personal, physical, family, mental, financial, spiritual, and career. These different areas make up the overall life balance that we need to have. All these different areas have some type of flex of our capacity, our level of feeling we have with them, and how well we're executing in them. And essentially, the Wheel of Life exercise goes: how would you rate each one of those categories, from 0 being you're in the toilet to 10, that category is on fire and you're executing on all cylinders? But what does this do? Why does this matter? Why is it even effective to know that this Wheel of Life exists? Because maybe you're thinking in your head, well, okay, I've got all these different things. Why does it matter? Because there's a reason it's the Wheel of Life. So let's convert this wheel to a tire. If this tire, aka your life, was installed on a car, and these different categories were inflated to a proper area of 10, you would have flat surfaces on their tire. You would have underinflated parts where you'd have overinflated other parts. Now, imagine that car going down the road at 65 miles per hour. Can you imagine how much bumps and how rough of a ride that would be if your Wheel of Life was converted to a tire installed on a car and actually tested? You might actually have the bolts fly off and the axle fall apart, because the torque and the tension on that tire wouldn't be able to hold it together. Same thing would apply if this was a wash machine, because wash machines, if they're not balanced, they start bouncing out of place. And then we start trying to compensate for these other areas that aren't executing correctly. So much of our life applies to this Wheel of Life. I want you to think about these areas: personal, physical, family, mental, financial, spiritual, and career. All of these areas, all 7 of these areas, need to be inflated to a 10. Now, can that be done overnight? No. Are you still going to probably have to drive around with an underinflated tire for a little bit? Yes. But imagine what your life would look like in the future if all of these areas were a 10. That if your finances were in order, your mental capacity to live and experience life at a higher level was perfect. If your family connection, your family time was right there. That if your physical health was exactly where you wanted it to be, your personal goals were being accomplished, you understand who you are, you got habits, you're going out and doing different things, and you've got just different hobbies that make you come alive. Your career is exactly what you want to do, and you get to wake up and do it every day, and you have one of those thoughts that, man, I can't believe I get paid to have this much fun at work. Spiritual, how much is your connection to the universe? Whether you believe in God, whether that be in your religious capacity, whatever it may be, what are all these areas? So again, this whole episode is really focused on one thing: understanding you need an inflated tire. Because when you are not inflated on these different categories, it can feel like the bolts are ready to fly off. And you all know what I'm talking about. Yes, you know that feeling when life is going so fast and you're white knuckling the steering wheel because you can't figure out why this car and everything is so bumpy. And how the heck did we get this car? You feel like you got a lemon. You didn't get a lemon. You just didn't properly inflate the tires. The tires predict how noisy a car is, how much your gas mileage is. There are so many weird things that a tire can affect. It's crazy. This analogy applies to your life. How are you inflated? How underinflated are you? And what are you going to do about it? Because I know in my life, when my career was in the toilet and I really didn't enjoy what I was doing, oh man, did I overcompensate in these other areas and destroyed and hurt a lot of different people and used friendships and people in ways they were never intended to. because we're trying to compensate for these other areas that are flat. And I didn't really realize that. And I hope that this helps you understand how to live your life on a more inflated level, how to realize that some areas are underinflated, and where you want to go. If you would like help learning about the wheel of life, maybe you don't understand how to get these areas. Maybe you don't understand why the area you put in this category never really truly increases the inflation. Reach out. There is no reason that you need to stay where you are. Coaching and what I do with dads every day is help them see their potential in the future and almost walk around with that flashlight in their life to find out, where's the leak, where is it coming from, and what can we do about it. Reach out, Ben_Killoy on Instagram, or send me an email, ben@benkilloy.com. I can't wait to have that conversation with you, and I will talk to you guys again on Monday.